Great to have you back on Uncensored. I watched this happen. I watched the immediate reaction. I thought, here we go. We're back into the Nazis. Is there no way of American political discourse, led by the Democrats, I have to say, is there no way of just moving past Nazis and Hitler? Can we not just all agree that it's a ridiculous and fatuous thing to keep playing out as a narrative and doesn't work? Hence Trump's big win, despite everyone on the left calling him a Nazi. Thoughts?
Yeah, the thoughts are we're with Piers Morgan, and the left has to figure this out. Because if you keep calling somebody the same name, no matter what it is, nobody cares after a while. It's the boy who cried wolf. Piers Morgan, Dave Smith, Tim Miller. This one is going to be Dave Smith taking the woke, figuratively smacking the woke out of Tim Miller on the Piers Morgan show. Piers Morgan Uncensored, dropping 1 million views per episode. I know the panelists have said it's difficult being on a panel with 4 people. Dave Smith is on. He's a veteran on these panels with Clay Davis. I don't know who the woman is, and Tim Miller. But this one's going to be about Dave Smith and Tim Miller. Part of the problem with the homie Robbie the Fire Bernstein. He's not on this one, but that's the partner in crime with Dave Smith. You know we're big Dave Smith fans on this show, on this channel. Let's get it.
Yeah, we'll start with one area of agreement, actually, that I have with you and Clay, which is different for me lately, which is I agree that it is, I don't think, a good strategy. The fact that you guys are talking about it shows that it's not a great strategy. If they were doing some very effective messaging, I kind of think that Clay would probably be ignoring it. So I agree. I think Elon's kind of a weird guy that was doing kind of an awkward gesture. I think we can all admit it was kind of awkward, but he does a lot of kind of awkward things. If I was the Democrats, here's what I'd be focused on when it comes to Elon Musk. This man is the largest government contractor, the largest recipient of government money. He was the largest donor to Donald Trump's campaign. He is the owner of a communications platform, and he will have an office inside the White House. I mean, there was mass outrage on the right
about
hold
the
fact that some people in the Biden administration were emailed.
Wait, hold on. I've been talking about this is Tim Miller right here. Tim Miller actually has not been historically a bad commentator. It reminds me of Steve Smith. Steve Smith went Trump derangement syndrome, wackadoo, became trash. He was actually the bald head guy who I think he was rolling with the Lincoln Project. He went whack, but he was actually one of the best commentators, analysts out there. Tim Miller's pretty good too, and that's good analysis there. Let's kick it back to Piers Morgan. I didn't know Elon had a desk in the office. I'm adding that to the list of things. He counter-singled Trump before the inauguration on the H-1B visas. He won't stop. Basically every 2 seconds, he's within arm's length of Donald Trump everywhere he goes, from the inauguration to speeches to when he's signing executive orders. It's basically like Elon's Trump's handler, basically. Maybe he's like his APAC handler, like Thomas Massey said. And he has his kid around, kind of taking the spotlight. He's counter-signaling Trump on Operation Stargate, which is really Operation Warp Speed Part 2. He moved into Mar-a-Lago at $2,000 a day, and he has an office he has his own Oval Office in the Oval Office. What the hell is going on?
Facebook and Twitter people recommending the content be taken down. I don't think that was very smart. I think that was bad policy by the Biden administration. But it was kind of mid-level bureaucratic stuff. I don't think it was really limiting people's free speech all that much. Now, I don't understand how you could be upset about that, but then be okay.
It's a weird statement. It didn't limit your speech that much. Okay.
About the owner of a communications platform having an office in the White House, having a security clearance, and being able to put the thumb on the scale of his algorithm to promote what is happening out of this administration. We can all agree, if you just go on the Twitter or the X For You page, it's like Elon Musk Propaganda Central. So now we have an officer of the American government like controlling a communications platform. I would think that people who are concerned about speech and free and open dialogue in this country would be astonished by that. In addition to the potential corruption, if you're an Elon competitor, what must you be thinking right now if you're a competitor of SpaceX or competitor of Tesla, which receive billions of dollars for the government, and the owner of that company is now going to have control over a government efficiency program where he gets to choose where money goes. The corruption here is astonishing. It'd be like if George Soros had an office off of the West Wing when Joe Biden was president. It's insane. So if I was the Democrats, I'd be focused on that level of corruption and not his awkward hand gesture.
I agree, but the problem I have with Tim Miller is, you help me, I will dive into the comments if you help me here. That I didn't hear him say anything or have any problem with this before. So yeah, I have to agree with him here, but I just can't really, I almost have to say, yeah, you're right, but I don't think Elon's for me, Trump's not for me. There aren't many people in this country who are aligned with me politically. But if Trump was aligned with me politically, if he's aligned with you politically, I almost have to advise you to say, yeah, it's open fascism, and that's the world we live in now. It's fascistic in nature. Tim, you don't say that when Democrats have power. The same thing happens. George Soros wasn't in the White House office, but he was in every county in this country. Every big city county, they had a certain skin color majority. He was there to put money in and to get these woke DAs in office. I never heard Tim say that. I don't follow him every day. If he does, and I'll give him credit. But I just remember, most recently when Carrie Lake lit him up. But do you see my problem here? Everything he said about Elon Musk is straight up fascistic. He's in the Oval Office. He has power in X. He's operating in an executive branch government efficiency type of official organization, just basically reporting to the president. But he's also getting money from the government. What? How does that work?
Well, it's very interesting what you've just said. And I'll bring Dave Smith in because I've got to say, it's good to hear someone on the left admit that this Nazi stuff is bullshit. I just think it is, and it's just stupid. And also, I just feel...
No, it's not good. This is easy to say. I'm not giving you credit for that. I'm not giving him credit for anything until I reconcile where he is.
I'm not Jewish, but if I was, I would be so endlessly offended, deeply
Here we go.
offended.
Here we go.
People keep trying to draw an equivalence.
I try my best not to say the words tiny hat, not to say dreidel, not to say Ben Shapiro on the stream, and I can't do it. I just can't get through a stream without doing it.
And the Republicans and the Nazis. I just think it's ridiculous. Anyway, first, your thoughts on that. But secondly, interesting point I thought there from Tim, which is, yeah, you can... I didn't actually agree with your first part, Tim, about Facebook and stuff. I think they did have a pretty insidious impact on things like suppressing the Hunter Biden laptop story, the New York Post
Tim knows that.
Social media for the last 2 weeks about the last election and so on. I think that was very wrong. However, I do think you make a very interesting comparative point. And Dave, I'm interested what your take is on this. First, Nazigate, but secondly, the point Tim makes about Elon Musk getting an office in the West Wing and comparing that to the influence perhaps that Facebook had last time around.
I can't wait. We're going to let this one draw. We're going to let the drama build on this one. We're friend of show. Well, I'm a fan of, I should say, Dave Smith. And he's been bad on these topics. He's been bad. I had a little live where I had to really kind of disagree with him strongly, very rarely. But visit our Discord link is in the description for more extended. These topics need to be fleshed out. And I want to flesh them out with the great comments we get. Here we go. Where's Dave Smith going to go with this?
Yeah. Okay. So, well, there's some that I agree with, a lot I don't. So I would be in agreement that I think even if you want to make the argument somehow that like Elon Musk was a dog whistle. He's a secret Nazi, and he chose this as his moment to like subliminally come out as a Nazi, and that was the message somehow. The fact is, Pierce, as you addressed at the top of the show, the Democrats have just gone to this well far too many times, and nobody's listening anymore. So even if this was the real case, which I don't think it is, I think he's just a somewhat awkward kind of herky-jerky guy in these moments. But even if this was the case, I'm sorry, you just billed Donald Trump's rally as a Nazi rally because it was in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And that was the only connection that you had. So it's just boy who cried wolf. And I will say, I am Jewish. I don't think it matters that I'm Jewish you're not. I think we can all have an opinion on this, but I think that the constant comparisons to Hitler and the constant invoking of the Nazis is just stupid.
Yeah.
And I'll put the blame initially. I really think it's the neoconservatives who first really put this into the popular lexicon, where every single enemy that they wanted a regime change against was always the next Hitler. Saddam Hussein's the next Hitler, Bashar al-Assad, Muammar Gaddafi, whoever it is, they're the next Hitler. And it's always just so ridiculous. And I've heard from a lot of the hardcore Israel supporters that Hamas are Nazis. The comparisons are ridiculous. And we don't need to pretend that this, I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you if you're trying to interrupt me, but let me just finish my point. I think that the Nazis were a unique evil, and to call everybody Nazis it does just make the term lose value. Now, I would say that to downplay the amount of censorship that we saw under the Biden regime, and even before Joe Biden came in, I think is just not fair. I mean, listen, as somebody who was adamantly opposed to lockdowns and vaccine mandates during COVID, the censorship was very widespread, and many people had their lives and livelihoods ruined simply for speaking up about government policies that, by the way, they turned out to be right about. And all the people saying follow the science turned out to be wrong about quite a bit of the.
So far, he has not addressed the elephant in the room. Elon Musk moving into the White House with his own White House.
Science. I would also say that it's interesting to me that Democrats always seem to get concerned with the concentration of power as soon as they're out of power.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wild to see that the party of George Soros and banker bailouts and all types of just corrupt, concentrated power now have an issue with this. I think there's always a concern. This is the way the American political system is set up. And yes, there is a concern with powerful private interests wielding government influence. But I also would not equate the government getting in the business of censoring the American people with someone like Elon Musk, who at least his promise with Twitter has been that it's going to be a free speech platform. And I think he's moved more in that direction. And so they're not.
No. Dave, and most of his take is good. It's hard for me to listen to Dave like this. I don't know what's going on his free speech take. And I think part of it is Elon Musk and this will be my takeaway. Elon Musk on X, he has played us all. He came on the platform and he said it's going to be free speech. Alex Jones was banned. It was a carryover from the previous regime. Other people were banned. I probably can't even say Alex's name on YouTube, to be honest with you. And so he owned that. Then he banned Ye. Remember, Ye posted that picture that it was just it wasn't even what it looked to be. It wasn't anything bad, but the symbol kind of looked like a symbol that was bad, or two of them put together. He got banned. It was obviously a mistake. What the point that I'm getting to is, there was no rhyme or reason to why he brought people back or not. Remember, he did polls. Remember when he was talking about AJ and AJ Jones, and he said, I'm not bringing them back because my first child didn't make it. Yeah, it was just weird. It didn't make any sense. It was about the situation that happened at the school. Here's my point. Donald Trump is in power now. Donald Trump took power in 2016. They allegedly robbed him in the 2020. Then they kicked him out and banned him from Twitter in 2021. He's back in power now. And what you do in the first couple of days actually is very huge. Nothing has changed. Not one term and condition. This is Dave Smith saying Elon Musk has taken Twitter, now X, into a more, I don't know what that means. Either you have free speech or you don't. This isn't a more, there's no scale like, I have 50% free speech, or it's a 90% free speech environment. That doesn't exist. That's not a thing. It's 0 or 100. And we don't have free speech. And the biggest thing to look at is Donald Trump could be banned again right now. Elon Musk moved into the office. Elon Musk put over 200 million into the campaign. There hasn't been not a one term and condition. Nothing when you sign up to the website. Elon Musk, he's supposed to be about free speech, right? So then what did he do in the terms of conditions? Everyone tells me it's a private company. You don't get free speech on there. It's a private company. But then Elon Musk said, I'm going to give you free speech. If it's a private company, he can change his rules on his site. If it's going to be more, whatever that looks like, then the rules should change to make it look more. Dave Smith, I want you to tell me, name me one rule in the terms and conditions on X that Elon Musk has changed that would at least make it harder or prevent what happened to Donald Trump in 2021 from happening again.
The next clip is ready below. Welcome to After Show Carnage.